Ever wondered if it's time to quit your job? Is it the right time? Do you dread going to work each day? The market looks tough, but other people are landing jobs, right? Maybe you should just stay where you are for now until you've booked that summer holiday. Or are you at the point where you just can't bear it any longer? If these are some of the thoughts you've been having lately, then watch this video to hear my 5 reasons you may want to consider quitting your job. I'm Lucy Gilmore, a former agency recruiter in the life sciences and engineering space. Having been a recruiter, hiring manager, and employee myself, I now dedicate my time to helping job seekers get hired in 60 days or less. I share weekly videos here on my YouTube channel, as well as daily tips on LinkedIn. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future videos. Now, whilst I don't advocate changing jobs every couple of months or quitting, there are some situations you just shouldn't have to tolerate, and over a long period of time can have a negative impact on your health. So watch this video until the end to hear 5 reasons you may want to quit your job, as well as some advice on how you should prepare for this prior to quitting. So the first sign is if your job or your workplace is having a negative impact on your mental or physical health. Your health should be your number one priority. So if your job is negatively impacting this, you really need to consider, is it worth it? Excessive workloads, tight deadlines, or a high pressure work environment can lead to chronic stress, and prolonged exposure to stress may contribute to mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. And not only that, it can also have an impact on your physical health. Chronic stress can manifest physically, contributing to conditions like headaches, muscle tension, fatigue, and even more severe health issues like cardiovascular problems. So ask yourself, what is your work-life balance like? Jobs that demand excessive working hours or disrupt your personal life balance can lead to burnout and impacting your mental well-being. If you're having sleepless nights or constantly getting ill, this could be due to the stress you are under, which is therefore weakening your immune system. No job is worth compromising your health for. Now look, in a lot of jobs, we have busier periods where deadlines may be tighter and life feels a little bit more stressful from time to time. But if you're experiencing any of the above for a sustained period of time, this could be a reason to quit your job. Sign number 2, a toxic workplace environment. Now, if you're feeling like you're no longer part of the decision-making process where you maybe once were, or there's just a lack of open and transparent communication from the top down, this can create confusion and uncertainty. And when we don't know where we stand, it can be really uncomfortable. If people are quitting left, right, and center around you, this suggests there's a dissatisfaction in the role or with the company. Has your workplace turned toxic? If you find your supervisors are interfering with your day-to-day tasks and constantly monitoring your work, this can be a sign of poor leadership and micromanagement, leaving you feeling frustrated, stressed, and demotivated. The constant scrutiny over time can erode your confidence. So if you feel like you're being micromanaged, it may be time to find a more supportive and trusting workplace. If you find yourself disagreeing with the direction of the company is heading, maybe there's been a company restructure and the company's values no longer align with yours, either from a moral or ethical point of view. Equally, maybe the company's core values are not being reflected by the leadership team. Look around. How are people treating each other? If it's in a negative manner, it may be time to get away from that toxic influence. I've done a whole video on 10 signs of a toxic workplace environment, so go check that one out after this video. Sign number 3, no career progression. Now, there's a saying, if you're not earning or learning, it's time to quit. And I think this is so true. If you have started to stagnate in your job, you've hit the glass ceiling, so to speak, it's probably time to look for something more challenging. When we're constantly learning new things, this can be exciting and engaging, and it in turn creates that job satisfaction. So if you're going to work and doing the same old, the chances are you're probably feeling bored and not achieving your full potential. Therefore, it's worth exploring what other opportunities are out there that could challenge you and support your professional development? Do you keep getting passed up for a promotion, or do you work in a relatively flat organizational structure with no clear signs of progression? If you're looking to climb the career ladder in terms of title and pay, sometimes the best way to do this can be through switching jobs. With some companies, you're lucky to get 1 to 3% pay rise year on year. But if you move jobs, the average salary increase can be between 10 to 20%. I've actually had a client who doubled their salary when moving jobs. Now, whilst job hopping can be great for pay increases and working your way up the career ladder, it can also impact you negatively if you do it too much. So I wouldn't advise job hopping every few months, as this won't have the desired effect. Sign number 4, bad boss. Now, we've all had a terrible boss at one stage in our professional career. Unfortunately, it's inevitable and one of the most common reasons why most people leave their job. Have you got a boss that will literally throw anyone under the bus to save their own skin? Or maybe they like to reprimand you or your colleagues in front of the whole office. They constantly want to criticize you rather than offer you any valuable or constructive feedback, all of which makes you want to quit your job there and then, telling your boss to shove their job where the sun don't shine. Now, a bad boss over time can have a real negative impact on your morale and confidence. So don't endure this type of behavior for too long. Finally, sign number 5, illegal activity. If your company or boss asks you to do anything outside the law, it's time to get out of there as quick as you can. Ethical companies adhere to legal and moral standards. So if you find yourself being asked to falsify financial statements, or maybe they encourage biased hiring practices, or request you to ignore safety regulations, these are all signs you need to get out before you end up being held personally accountable. If your moral compass starts to feel uncomfortable at work, don't ignore it. Take action. No job is worth ruining or compromising your professional reputation for. So there you have it. 5 reasons you may want to consider quitting your job. Now, please let me know in the comments if you've quit your job for other reasons, or maybe you're weighing up your options at the moment. I'd love to hear from you. Now, before you do quit your jobs, there's a couple of things you want to get in order first. The market is tough at the moment. There's a lot of people looking for work and not as many jobs available as there has been previously. Over the past year, we have seen an increase in layoffs, and whilst I'd hoped that it would be slowing down at the start of 2024, it's showing no signs of slowing just yet. So before quitting, ask yourself, is there anything you can do to improve your situation? If you're simply bored or feeling underutilized, maybe put the onus back on yourself and ask yourself what else there is you can do. Have you spoken up and offered to help in other areas that could use your expertise, or could you develop your skills to make your career better? If the only solution is to quit, make sure you are ready to stand out in a very crowded market. So have a clear goal in mind in terms of what sort of position and company you would like to target. Get your master resume ready and make sure it's all up to date, as you're going to need this to help you tailor your applications when you start applying. And finally, get your LinkedIn profile updated and optimized. That way you can hit the ground running when it comes to looking for your next position. So many companies now cross-check candidates' resumes and LinkedIn profiles, so it's so important to make sure you keep both up to date. If you need some guidance on how to optimize your LinkedIn or tailor your resume, then join my Career Growth Accelerator program, where I coach job seekers through the full job search process. The program is delivered through a series of online video tutorials for convenient self-paced learning, as well as coaching calls with myself for a more personalized approach. I'll pop a link with more details in the description below. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you're new around here, please subscribe so you can be notified of more valuable insights.